Phillip Stutts, Republican political strategist and the founder and CEO of Win Big Media. Phillip, we'll start with you on this. We saw the church lose in court, but is the reopening debate starting to change, and are those in favor of reopening starting to win in the court of public opinion?
Well, I think so, because it's sort of the common sense element where you've got California, which has virtually been in lockdown for 9 months now, and they are number 2 in COVID cases right now, where I live in the state of Florida. And right now where we are in the bottom 15 in cases, and we've had total freedom here since about late April, early May. And it just doesn't make sense. You have businesses fleeing the state. You have people fleeing the state. You have nationally suicides up. The second order consequences of this are enormous. You have so much damage that no one is talking about. And then you've got elected leaders in California that are violating.
You got to figure out where this
rules that they're setting up
comes down. Nomiki, as this plays out, you're going to, and we talked to a pastor in Colorado who said that he was willing to do this, and others. If people are willing to get arrested to go against these lockdown orders and defy them, what kind of position does it put in if you're going to start seeing sheriff's deputies arresting people who are going to church or are getting a haircut, who are opening their restaurant? I can't imagine that that's an optic that a Democratic governor facing a recall like Gavin Newsom is in California wants.
I think the reality here is that we have to sit here and look to our government and say, why didn't you do anything sooner? You look around the world where they've been able, New Zealand, 0 cases. It's because they effectively locked down and you didn't have people resisting, so that they put their entire communities at risk. The elderly in their communities, young people in their communities, old people, sick people in communities, all because people feel, understandably, frustrated with this. But if we had taken it seriously from day one, if we had listened to the CDC, if we hadn't defunded the
Phillip,
CDC...
Is the issue that we haven't taken it seriously, Phillip,
yes,
or is the issue that America is different than New Zealand? Because Germany has the same number of cases now. We're in the same place.
Right, and you have, like in Florida, where the governor says, there are certain people that are more susceptible than others. I trust you to make your decisions. When I'm going to church today, it's mask optional. We are in the bottom 15 in the state of Florida with cases right now. It says something about trusting people.
How many have died in Florida? I'd like to know that. How many have died? How does that measure up?
How do you know how many died at this point?
You're peddling conspiracy theories and junk science and putting people at risk. You're putting the entire country at risk because you want to be free to not wear your mask. That is dangerous. We know this. There's science. You are pushing conspiracy theory, junk science.
Hold on. We're stop with the name. Guys, we're going to stop with the name calling. Nomiki, I'll ask you this question, though. Somehow, all of the messaging from much of the media talking about how everybody needs to wear masks and on. Why don't people believe it? Because as Phillip points out, in Florida, you walk around, there's a zillion people who don't have masks on, and they're certainly not at the top of the charts in terms of who has the number of coronavirus cases.
Well, we know that there's been waves, and Florida has had a significant number of deaths. Let's be real here, looking at the numbers. I think people don't believe it because we have conspiracy theorists going on air and saying that they don't need to, and that's the problem. You go to Mexico, there's a mask mandate. You go to multiple countries. You go to New Mexico, there's a mask mandate, and the levels are down. If our government was providing for its citizens at this time, I will say this: if they were actually providing real relief for their citizens at its time, I don't think people would be
Somehow this got into some very different discussion than what we thought about. Nomiki, Phillip, perhaps I'm guessing that your guys' Christmas celebrations, based on this conversation, might look a little bit different, but Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas.
Wear your mask.
There you go. Thank you.
I just want to make note of the little elf over his left shoulder. I'm not sure if anyone else noticed that, but my producers and I enjoyed that.